मान लीजिए आप एक फर्नीचर बनवाना चाहते हैं, आपने कोई ऑर्डर है, कोई ऐसा ओकेजन है, आपको फर्नीचर बनवाना है और आप किसी कारपेंटर को हायर करते हैं और आपने उसके बारे में बहुत सुन रखा है कि वो बहुत अच्छा फर्नीचर बनाता है और वो खुद भी बहुत तारीफ कर रहा है कि मैं बहुत अच्छा फर्नीचर बनाता हूँ। ठीक है, आप उसको लेके आए, आपने उसे दिखाया, डिजाइन पसंद हो गया कि हाँ ये डिजाइन हमें बनाना है, वो कहता है हाँ मैं बना दूंगा, ठीक है। फिर आप कहते हैं ठीक है, आप इस काम को शुरू करिए। अब
वेरी गुड इवनिंग स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग। उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप बिल्कुल ठीक होंगे एंड योर प्रिपरेशन इज गोइंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन। So yes, we are live. My name is Mohammad Ehtisham Siddiqui and I welcome you all to the India's largest online live learning platform, Unacademy's YouTube channel. Let's crack GATE and ESE सिविल में। तो लेट्स क्रैक इट। मूविंग फॉरवर्ड हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, हम अपनी सीरीज में जियोटेक्निकल इंजीनियरिंग जो कि गेट एग्जामिनेशन में सबसे ज्यादा पूछा जाता है, उसके हम लास्ट ईयर के मोस्ट अपकमिंग ईयर्स मतलब 2021 में आने वाले मोस्ट एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हैं। वेरी गुड इवनिंग विवेक, कैसे हैं आप। So you can crack GATE, you can crack ESE, you can crack any assistant engineer examination, you can crack any junior engineer examination with the help of India's largest online live learning platform, that is Unacademy. अनअकैडमी जो शुरुआत हुई है वो फ्री क्लासेस से हुई है, फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन से शुरुआत हुई है अनअकैडमी की, और अभी भी अनअकैडमी इतना ज्यादा फ्री कंटेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहा है पूरे इंडिया में जो कि कोई भी नहीं कर सकता है ना। लेकिन अगर आपको अपनी तैयारी को बहुत डिफाइंड वे में अच्छे तरीके से करना है तो आप अनअकैडमी का प्लस या आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन ले सकते हैं। जिस अनअकैडमी के प्लस और आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन में आपको पढ़ाते हुए मिलते हैं इंडिया के वो सारे बेस्ट एजुकेटर्स जिनके लिए अभी लाखों लाखों फीस आप लोग पे कर रहे थे। मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, this is all about me. My name is Mohammad Ehtisham Siddiqui. My code is ES001. I am alumni of India's best central universities, that is Jamia Millia Islamia New Delhi. I am 4 times GATE qualified consecutively, 3.5 years of teaching experience, taught more than 10,000 students all over the India, guided students with the AIR rank 1 also. Geotechnical engineering, water resource, environmental structure analysis, surveying, construction planning and management. These are the subjects which I used to teach in the Unacademy app or Unacademy's YouTube channel. So if you didn't download it yet, Unacademy learning app, just go and download. Sachin Marshall SP is saying sir आप प्रभास जैसे लग रहे हैं। प्रभास कौन है भैया, ये कौन है प्रभास, है ना। Unacademy learning app, if you didn't download it, just go and download this Unacademy's learning app. As you download the Unacademy learning app, you will get an access to the special classes, that too of free of cost. If you want to access my special classes, जैसे कि हमारा सुबह में जो है 9 बजे टेस्ट था, दैट इज सर्वेइंग का, वो टेस्ट हम लोगों ने मैंने शिफ्ट कर दिया है आज शाम में 7 बजे। तो 7 बजे हम सर्वेइंग का टेस्ट देंगे। अगर आप उस सर्वेइंग के टेस्ट को ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं तो सबसे पहले डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जो हमारा सिविल बाय सिद्दीकी सर का जो टेलीग्राम चैनल है उसको ज्वाइन करिए। वहां पर मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स डालूंगा। जब आप उस लिंक को ओपन करेंगे तो आपसे उस क्लास को अनलॉक करने के लिए, उस फ्री टेस्ट को अनलॉक करने के लिए बाहुबली, ओके थैंक यू सो मच, ओके उसके लिए आपको एक कोड की जरूरत पड़ेगी। उस कोड को बोलते लग रहा हूं। चलिए जरा मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, अगर आप सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हैं तो आपको डेली लाइव क्लासेस मिलती हैं, लाइव टेस्ट एंड क्विजेस मिलते हैं, स्ट्रक्चर्ड कोर्सेज मिलते हैं, अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस टू रिकॉर्डेड क्लासेस। बेटा इतना स्मार्ट नहीं हो बेटा, कैसी बातें कर रहे हो, मैं है ना, बाहुबली से कंपेयर कर दिया तुमने मुझे, है ना। आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन अगर आप लेते हैं तो आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन में आपको एक पर्सनल कोच मिलता है, स्टडी ट्रैक करते हैं, क्वेश्चन आंसर की आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं मींस की, और सारे के सारे बेनिफिट्स आपको प्लस के मिलते ही मिलते हैं। कपिल गुप्ता, सचिन, क्या बेटा खूब मजा आ रहा है आपको? हाँ, यही बेटा एग्जाम में पूछा जाएगा कि पहला सवाल यही होगा कि सिद्दीकी सर जो है जब पार्ट नंबर 7 ले रहे थे तो वो किस तरीके से लग रहे थे, बाहुबली जैसे लग रहे थे, शाहरुख खान जैसे लग रहे थे, या फिर जो है वो खुद सिद्दीकी सर जैसे लग रहे थे? तो यही होगा पहला सवाल। डेली लाइव क्लासेस मिलती हैं आपको प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन में, लाइव टेस्ट एंड क्विजेस मिलते हैं, स्ट्रक्चर्ड कोर्सेज मिलते हैं और अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस मिलती है रिकॉर्डेड क्लासेस की। ये सारे टॉप एजुकेटर्स जिनकी मदद से आप पढ़ सकते हैं, है ना। द गॉड ऑफ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग जसपाल सर की मदद से अगर आप सिविल इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो आप पढ़ सकते हैं। आप में से कोई भी आपका फ्रेंड अगर किसी और एग्जाम में इंटरेस्टेड है और सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना चाहता है तो आप मुझसे जरूर कांटेक्ट करिएगा, मैं जरूर आप लोगों की हेल्प करूंगा, या फिर मेरा कोड बता दीजिएगा ES001। कपिल गुप्ता कह रहे हैं सर जिम ज्वाइन करें सर, आप जॉन अब्राहम भी फेल हो जाएगा। सही है बेटा, सही है, मजे ले लो खूब, है ना, सर ही मिले सारे मजे लेने के लिए। तो करेंगे, ज्वाइन करेंगे बेटा, जिम भी ज्वाइन करेंगे, पहले आप लोगों को तो ज्वाइन करवा दें किसी डिपार्टमेंट में। तो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग आप लोगों को जब जब सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा तब उसके बाद जिम ज्वाइन करेंगे। आप लोगों का जब सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा ना तो ऐसे मतलब 1000-2000 लोगों का जब सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा कहीं ना कहीं, फिर उसके बाद सिद्दीकी सर पढ़ाएंगे ही नहीं, है ना। फिर आप लोग ही जो है जिम विम जो है सर को जो है जूस वूस देने के लिए आना। चलिए, तो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के 7 कोर्सेज लॉन्च कर रखे हैं, सब में आपको एक्सेस मिलती है, ये सब मैंने आपको बता दिया। अगर फीस की बात करें, 2 साल की फीस है 44,000, 1.5 साल की 38,500, 1 साल की 30,250, 6 मंथ की 24,750, 3 मंथ की 13,750 और 1 मंथ की 5500। आपको इतनी फीस देनी नहीं है, आपको अपने प्यारे सिद्दीकी सर बाहुबली सर का कोड यूज करना है ES001। जैसे ही आप कोड यूज करेंगे आपको 10% का डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा, आपको 10% का डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा बेटा, है ना। और आपकी फीस जो देखो 44,000 थी वो आपकी हो गई कितनी, 39,600, ऐसी 38,500 हो जाएगी 34,650। तो ये आपको बेनिफिट मिल जाएगा प्लस में। अगर आप आइकॉनिक लेना चाहते हैं तो 1 साल की फीस है 50,250, 2 साल की फीस है 74,000, बट यू डोंट हैव टू पे दिस फीस। Just use my code that is ES001. When you use this code that is ES001, it is a magical code. You will get a 10% discount on the iconic subscription. The fees which cost 50,250 will cost only 45,225, and the fees which cost 74,000 will cost only 66,600 rupees. Moving forward, this is the seventh part. This is the seventh part. This is the seventh part of the most expected questions of the Geotechnical Engineering for GATE 2021। और आपका GATE 2021 बिल्कुल शुरू होने वाला है। देखिए बहुत जल्दी कुछ बच्चों का एग्जाम जो है कल परसों में एग्जाम होगा, है ना, कुछ बच्चों का और दूसरे दिन होगा। तो आपका GATE 2021 will start very soon. So before that we will solve certain good questions. So this is the first question for today's class. This is the first question for today's class. This question comes from the pumping out test. So such type of question can be asked in the GATE examination. The question is a pumping out test. Just read this question and try to solve this question. My dear students, just read this question and try to solve it. Read it and try to solve it, my dear students. Read it and try to solve it. What the question is trying to say, a pumping out test was carried out in a field in order to determine the average permeability of 18-meter thick sand layer. The groundwater table is located at a depth of 2.2 meter below the ground level. The groundwater table is located at a depth of 2.2 meter ओके कोई बात नहीं, आप अच्छे से पेपर करके आइएगा गेट का। द ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल इज लोकेटेड एट ए डेप्थ ऑफ 2.2 मीटर बिलो द ग्राउंड लेवल। ए स्टेडी स्टेट कंडीशन वाज रीच्ड व्हेन द डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द वेल वाज 21.5 लीटर पर सेकेंड। एट दिस स्टेज द ड्रॉडाउन इन द 2 ऑब्जर्वेशन वेल्स आर 2.54 while the drawdown in the okay, the drawdown in the two observation wells. Okay, the drawdown in two nahi hai. This is the drawdown in the main observation well. How is it? One second, just read. There is some mistake in this question. The CD stage is received when the discharge from this at this stage, the drawdown in two observation well was 2.54, while the drawdown in two observation well okay, यहाँ पर two observation well नहीं है, just do the correction here. The at this stage the drawdown in the main well, just do one correction here. The drawdown in the main well, this is not observation well. The drawdown in the main well or drawdown in the test well was 2.54 meter, 2.54 meter, while the drawdown in the two observation well situated at 8 meter and 20 meter from the test well was found to be 1.76 and 1.27 respectively than the permeability of the soil. So what he is trying to say, that there is a sand layer, whose thickness is 18 meter. There is a sand layer whose thickness is 18 meter. So this is a sand layer. The thickness of this sand layer is 18 meter. This is basically a sand layer. The thickness of this sand layer, this is basically a sand layer, and the thickness of this sand layer is 18 meter. This is basically a sand layer, and thickness of this sand layer is 18 meter. Now what he is trying to say, that the groundwater table is located at a depth of 2.2 meter below the ground level. This is the ground level, and this is the ground level, and groundwater table is at a depth of 2.2 meter below the ground level. So this is basically the location of groundwater table. This is basically the location of groundwater table. So this is nothing but the groundwater table. It is below 2.2 meter below the ground surface. Now what he is saying, the groundwater table is a steady state is reached. What you have to do, what you will do, you will insert a main well, or you will insert a test well. You will insert a main well, or you will insert a test well here. This is the initial level of water. This is the initial level of water. Now you start pumping. The condition will come when the discharge becomes steady with respect to the time. The discharge, can we use Thiem's formula? Yes, you will use the Thiem's formula only to find the permeability. Okay, the discharge becomes constant with time, and it is coming out to be 21.5 liter per second. Now what he is trying to say, at this stage the drawdown in the main well, when the discharge becomes constant, then the drawdown in the main well, becomes 2.54, and as we move away from the main well, the drawdown starts decreasing. As we move from the main well, the drawdown starts decreasing. As we move from the main well, the drawdown starts decreasing. So the drawdown at the main well, this is the drawdown. What do you mean by the drawdown? It is the difference between the initial level and final level. This is the final level, and the water will drops at the main well at a distance of by a depth of 2.54 meter. So the drawdown at the main well, is 2.54 meter. And also there are two observation wells are penetrated at a distance of 8 meter. There are two observation well. This is the first observation well, and this is the second observation well. Yes, such type of question can be come in the mains examination. Such type of question can be comes in the mains examination also. In the SSC case, such type of question can become in the mains examination. So what he is trying to say, that the drawdown at the first observation well, which is located, the drawdown at the first observation well, which is located at a radial distance of 8 meter, is nothing but to 1.76. This is 1.76, and the drawdown at a radial distance of, and the drawdown at a radial distance of 20 meter, at a radial distance of 20 meter, is nothing but 1.27 meter, is 1.27 meter. This is the distance. And what is this? This is basically the height of water in the observation well first, and this is nothing but the height of the water in the observation well second. So what you need to find? You need to find the permeability of the soil. As we know that the permeability of soil, this is H1, this is R1, this is H2, this is R2. As we know, this is an unconfined aquifer. What type of aquifer it is? It is an unconfined aquifer. And for a unconfined aquifer, if you want to calculate the permeability, then the formula is equal to Q is equal to pi K. Q is equal to pi K, H2 square minus H1 square divided by log of base E, R2 by R1. So you can determine the discharge is equal to pi K, H2 square minus H1 square divided by log of base E, R2 by R1. So when you use this formula, which formula? Again, I am repeating, Q is equal to pi K, H2 square minus H1 square divided by log of base E, R2 by R1. You need to find the value of H1 and H2. You need to find the value of H1 and H2. How you calculate? This is 18, this is 2.2. So if you minus 18 by 2.2, you will reach here, and you subtract 1.76, then you will get H1. So H1 will comes out to be 18 minus 2.2, 18 minus 2.2 minus 1.76. On calculating, H1 will comes out to be, tell me the value of H1. Similarly, H2 would comes out to be 18 minus 2.2 minus 1. The drawdown in the second value is 1.27. On subtracting, the value of H2 will comes out to be, tell me the value of H2. Solve it and tell me the value of H1 and H2. My dear students, solve it and tell me the value of H1 and H2. What is the value of H1 and what will be the value of H2? 18 minus 2.2 minus 1.76. The value of H1 comes out to be 14.04, and the value of H2 comes out to be, comes out to be 14.53 meter. So you will get the values of H1 and H2 as the discharge is given as the Kapil Gupta. The answer coming out to be liters per second. No, that he is asking about the permeability, and you have calculated the answer in liter per second, which is wrong. And you have calculated H1 is to be 16.24. How you calculate, my dear student? And this H1 is nothing but the height of water in the first observation well. This whole depth is 18. When you subtract 2.2 from 18, then you will get the distance from here to here. When you subtract 2.2 from, you will get the distance there. And after subtracting the drawdown 1.76, you will get this value. So the answer would comes out to be 14.04. Now you calculate the value of K. So K would be equal to Q into log of base E, R2 by R1 divided by pi H2 square minus H1 square. He is asking the value of permeability in meter per day. So how you calculate? Q is equal to liter per second. So on converting into meter cube, so you divide, as you know, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000. 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. So it will comes out to be 0.0215. It will get multiplied by the 1000. So you will get in meter cube. You will get in meter cube per second, meter cube per second, log of base E. R2 is basically 20, divided by R1 is 8, divided by R1 is 8, divided by pi. H2 is 4.53 whole square minus 14.53 whole square minus 14.404 whole square. So it would comes out to be in meter square. It meter square will cancel out by the meter, 1 meter square. Then the permeability by solving this would comes out to be in meter per second. And as we know, 1 day is equal to 86,400 seconds. So if you want the value into be in meter per day, so what you do, 0.025 multiplied by log of base E multiplied by 28 by 20. You want the value in the form of meter per day, then you don't have to do anything, just convert this seconds into day. So it will convert into day, then you have to multiply it by the 86,400 and divided by pi 14.53 whole square minus 14.04 whole square. Solve it and tell me the right answer of the permeability of the soil. This is ln 20 divided by 8 multiplied by 86400 multiplied by 0.0251 divided by 3.14, and it will get divided by 14.53. It will get divided by, the value will get divided by 632.835. Just solve it. 14.53 minus 14.04. So it will divided by 13.99 means 14. 632.83 divided by 14. The value comes out to be 45 point. The value of permeability comes out to be 45.202 meter per day. It is coming out to be 45.202 meter per day. The value of permeability coming out to be 45.202 मीटर पर 38.7 आ रहा है, तो कहीं ना कहीं मिस्टेक हुई है कैलकुलेशन. जस्ट देख लेते हैं. अभी 14.53. मैं तो बेटा यहां पर नॉर्मल फोन के कैलकुलेटर से किया, तो हो सकता है मिस्टेक हो गई होगी, हो सकता है. माइनस 14.04. ये तो ऊपर की नीचे नीचे की वैल्यू तो सही है बेटा. ऊपर की वैल्यू 0.0251 मल्टीप्लाइड बाई ln 20 डिवाइडेड बाई 8 multiplied by 86400 and divided by 3.14 divided by 13.999. So the answer comes out to be 45 point. Very good evening. Tell me the Kapil Gupta answer is coming out to be 45.202 meter per day. Cross check the answer. Kapil Gupta, cross check the answer, and other students also solve this and try to cross check it. Try to cross check it whether the answer coming out to be right or wrong. Tell me. Cross check it, my dear students. Other students also cross check it and tell me whether the answer coming out to be correct or not. कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ सॉइल वाले टॉपिक से क्या क्या पढ़ना अंकित? कंसोलिडेशन वाले सॉइल टॉपिक से एक तो आप सेटलमेंट कैसे निकालते हैं, सेटलमेंट का फॉर्मूला पढ़ लीजिए, और उसकी जो केस स्टडी है, प्री कंसोलिडेशन प्रेशर जब इफेक्ट इनिशियल इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस से कम है ज्यादा है, वो पढ़ लीजिए। और एक वो टाइम फैक्टर वाला जो फॉर्मूला है, टीवी इज इक्वल टू सीवीटी अपॉन एच स्क्वायर, इस पर खूब सवाल कर लीजिए, है ना। जितने सवाल कर सकते हैं उतने सवाल करिए। इन्हीं दो टॉपिक से जनरली क्वेश्चन जो है ज्यादा कंसोलिडेशन में पूछा जाता है, और कहीं से सवाल पूछा नहीं जाता। हाँ जी, आंसर बताइए बेटा, आंसर सही आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा, जल्दी से बताइए। वेदर द आंसर कमिंग आउट टू बी 45.202 और नॉट। चलिए जरा, तो आंसर कमिंग आउट टू बी 45.202, सो आप लोग आंसर चेक कर लीजिएगा। चलिए मूविंग फॉरवर्ड टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। बताइए, एमएसक्यू टाइप क्वेश्चन है, एमएसक्यू गलत करके मत आना। अगर कोई कंफ्यूजन हो किसी स्टेटमेंट में तो बिल्कुल निगेटिव करके मत आना, क्योंकि निगेटिव आपको पीछे ले जाएगा। कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो आपका, कोई भी क्वेश्चन निगेटिव करके नहीं आना है आपको। अगर एमएसक्यू आप कर रहे हैं और आपको अगर थोड़ा बहुत भी कंफ्यूजन है तो क्वेश्चन छोड़ देना, लेकिन गलत मत करना अगर निगेटिव मार्किंग है उसमें। चलिए, तो क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकंड जो है एमएसक्यू है, इसका आंसर बताइए जरा। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन बेटा आपका एमएसक्यू है, इसका आंसर बताइए बच्चे। हाँ जी, चलिए जरा इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर बताइए जल्दी से। व्हाट विल बी द राइट आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन? So what this question is trying to say, just read it this question, my dear students. Which of the following statements is correct? It is a multiple select question, so more than one option can be correct also. The first statement is thixotropy refers to the loss of shear strength of soil with the passage of time after remolding. As you know, when you disturb a fine grained soil, the fine grained soil will lose its shear strength due to a property called as sensitivity. But if that soil is remain undisturbed for some time, then that soil can able to regain its some part of its shear strength, and that is due to the property called as thixotropy. So thixotropy is basically the property due to which soil regain its shear strength if it is left undisturbed for some time. Okay, but he is saying that the thixotropy refers to the loss of shear strength. No, thixotropy refers to the gain of the shear strength. So this statement is absolutely wrong. Moving forward to the next question. Next part is flow net is the unique function of boundary condition and does not change as the head causing flow changes. This statement is absolutely correct, because flow net is only and only depends upon the boundary conditions, and if the boundary conditions does not change, even when the permeability of soil change, even when the head causing flow change, even when even the soil get changed, even the direction of flow get changed, the shape of the flow net will not change if the boundary conditions are not changing. So this statement is absolutely correct. Next statement is smaller is the dimension of flow field, smaller will be the hydraulic gradient. So what is the flow field? This is basically the flow field. We have already discussed these are the equipotential lines and these are nothing but the flow lines. These are the equipotential lines and these are the flow lines. The region between two consecutive equipotential line and two consecutive flow line is called as flow field. So what he is trying to say, that as we know that we construct the flow field in such a way, that the head loss, that is the head loss in each flow field, would be same. The head loss in each flow field would be same. So now let's see that if the size of flow field is smaller, suppose this is the larger size flow field, This is a smaller size flow field. So the head loss is same. So if I want to calculate the hydraulic gradient is equal to head loss divided by the length of flow, So if the flow field is of larger size, means if this A is more, if the flow field is of larger size, then the length of flow will be more. If the length of flow will be more, then hydraulic gradient will be less. If the hydraulic gradient will be less, as we know, the velocity is directly proportional to hydraulic gradient. If the velocity will be less, then if the hydraulic gradient will be less, then ultimately the velocity would be less. So but what he is trying to say, that the smaller is the dimension of flow field. So if the length of flow field decreases, then the length of flow will decreases. If the length of flow decreases, then the hydraulic gradient will increases. Hydraulic gradient will increases, then the velocity of flow will increases. But what he is saying, that the smaller is the flow field, smaller is the gradient. No, if the flow field is of a smaller shape, then the hydraulic gradient will be large. This statement is wrong. Next, D statement, minimum 2 piles are required to support a column. No, at least 3 piles are required. At least 3 piles are required to support a column. The 3 piles are required. 3 number of piles are the minimum number of piles which are required to support a column, and all the 3 piles are arranged in a triangular pattern like this. And this triangular pattern, of the piles are used to support, this triangular pattern of the piles are used to support a column. So minimum 3 number of piles are required to support a column. So this statement is also wrong. So the only B statement is correct. Out of this multiple select question, only B statement is correct. So moving forward to the next question. Moving forward to the next multiple select question. Tell me the answer of next multiple select question. Just read it and try to answer it. Read it and try to answer this question, my dear students. So what he is trying to say, that which of the following statements is correct? It is the multiple select question, and you have to choose the more than one option. So first, for the rigid footing, the contact pressure is non-uniform. This statement is absolutely correct, because the rigid footing does not be flexible, does not deform itself. That's why the contact pressure at all the points which is exerted by the soil behind it is always remain non-uniform. The second is, for flexible footing, the contact pressure is uniform. Absolutely right. For the flexible footing, the contact pressure is uniform or remains same at all the points of the footing. Next, for the flexible footing on the sand, the deformation is maximum at the edges and the minimum at the center. If we talk about the sand, and if we are talking about the flexible footing, so if the contact pressure is same, then the sigma is equal to E into epsilon. If this is constant, then the deformation would be maximum when the modulus of elasticity is minimum. Here the modulus of elasticity would be maximum for the sand. Here the modulus of elasticity would be lesser for the sand. So as we know that where the modulus of elasticity is more, the deformation will be less, so that the shape is coming out to be like this. So he is saying the flexible footing on the sand, deformation is maximum at the edges. Yes, at the edges the deformation is maximum because the modulus of elasticity is less, and minimum at the center. Though this statement is also correct. Moving forward to the next, for the rigid footing on the sand, deformation is maximum at the edges and minimum at the center. This is wrong, because in the rigid footing all the points will settle any deformation. So all the points have same deformations, and the deformation at the edges and the deformation at the center will remain same. So this statement will be wrong. So this statement will be wrong. So this statement will be wrong. Very good. So the for the multiple select question, A, B, and C are correct. The statement A, B, C are correct. Moving forward to the next question. This question can come in the 1 marks. Try to solve this question. For question number three, A, B, and C, all the three statements are correct. Moving forward to the question number 7, try to solve the question number 4. Try to solve the question number 4. So what he is trying to say, according to Tarzagi's equation, the bearing capacity of square footing resting on a cohesive soil having C is equal to this is. So there he is want to calculate the bearing capacity of the soil. So as we know, according to Tarzagi, the bearing capacity of a square footing resting on a cohesive soil is nothing but equal to, if we nothing is given, so we are calculating, because unit weight of soil is not given, so we are assuming to find the net ultimate bearing capacity. So that will comes out to be C into NC. But here there is a square footing, so there will be the shape factor, and the shape factor for the square footing is nothing, if we know, then for the square footing, for the if we talk about the strip footing, for strip footing the shape factor is equal to 1. For the strip footing the shape factor is equal to 1, and this is alpha 1 that is equal to 1. For if we talk about the if we talk about the if we talk about let me tell you about the shape factor so that you can able to remember. So net ultimate bearing capacity is equal to alpha into C into NC, general formula, plus Q into NQ minus 1 plus Q into NQ minus 1 plus alpha 2 B gamma into N gamma. B gamma into N gamma. So alpha 1 is equal to 1 and alpha 2 is equal to 0.5. Then the footing is said to be strip footing. Now if alpha 2 if alpha 2 is equal to now if alpha 2 is equal to 0.4, if alpha 2 is equal to 0.4 and alpha 1 is equal to 1.3, alpha 1 is equal to 1.3, then the footing is called as square footing. If alpha 1 is equal to 1.3 and alpha 2 is equal to 0.3, then it is said to be circular footing. So as we need to find the answer for square footing, so alpha 1 would be equal to 1.3. So on putting 1.3, C is equal to 10, and NC for cohesive soil is 5.7. On substituting this value, tell me the answer of this question. 1.3 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 5.7. The answer coming out to be 74.1 kilonewton per meter square. The answer coming out to be 74.1 kilonewton per meter square. The right answer of this question would be See, so I hope we have solved certain number of questions. I hope we have solved certain number of questions related to multiple select question. So such type of questions can be expected in the GATE examinations. Practice more as much as you can, and now be cool, take a good sleep, and don't be afraid of the examination. Just go to the examination with the full energy and try to solve as much as maximum you can with a cool mind. Don't think that what will happen next, in what will happen in the future, or what will happen where if the question will not get solved. Don't worry about it. Just do your best, and all the best for your GATE examination. Try to subscribe the channel and also join the Telegram channel, so that for when you come with the GATE examination, we will do something amazing for your examination. Thank you so much, and all the best for your GATE examination.